Hey, what's up, guys? It is Rapmark here. So, doing my review, again, slightly delayed, for 65. And man, this movie looked cooler in the trailers than it actually ended up being. This movie, for having Adam Driver in it, which was the best part about it, it was boring at times. It didn't feel like it did very much interesting to it. Uh, I mean, there's very little mystery involved. Uh, there are points where it wants you to form emotional attachments. It doesn't full. There are some areas in which it works, but a lot of areas in which it doesn't. Like again, you have Adam Driver's character and you have a little girl, and that's a vast majority of the world, of the whole movie, and they can't talk a whole lot because they have two different languages, which is a little strange. I mean, you start out in this. I mean, it's a spacefaring civilization that has mastered that. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that just happens. I mean, it starts out strong. I liked how it started off. You meet Mills and his wife and his daughter, and you feel like you kind of feel for his character. The problem is everything gets spelled out in this movie, so there's no real mystery. None of the characters have any like they. I mean, Mills has kind of a small arc, but not really. The plot seems very contrived. I mean, things just happen. Uh, Bad mistakes are made. Like just stupid actions being done by the actors and actress. It's oh no. And the thing is Adam Driver really did a decent job in this. With what he was given. I mean, he went all out, and it really was the bright spot in this is his performance. Some of the like, I, it just seemed like it was telling you a story without like having you figure out anything for yourself. Like I kept on trying to see if something interesting was going to happen, but no, it spelled out so much of this movie in just it literally told you everything, and so it left me it felt slow in certain parts. It didn't feel fulfilling. You have weapons that are kind of inconsistent, which I'll get into in spoilers. Uh, and again, the chemistry between the two, like the little girl and Driver's character, there were times where I could feel it, sure, but most of the time I just wasn't feeling it. It just didn't feel. It felt forced, if that makes sense, and that's never a place you want to be um, in a movie like that. And it felt really long. Like again, things started to happen within the story where I'm just like, are they just trying to extend this? Because it wasn't a long movie. It was only 93 minutes, so that's about an hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and 33 minutes. and you could feel every minute of it. In my opinion, it was really sucked. And the thing is as bad as it wasn't fun bad. But at the same time, because again, you only have two actors on the screen and a bunch of like, you know, backdrops and, you know, puppet or animatronic dinosaurs, maybe some CGI. Uh, Again, Adam Driver literally held this up to what I ended up giving it, and un- unfortunately, that's gonna be a five. You know, this wasn't a terrible movie. I've seen worse movies for sure. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was also wasn't something special. It wasn't so bad. It was fun bad. Um, yeah, it just felt like disjointed disasters happening for nothing more than to like delay the ending. It just seemed like it was just trying to delay the ending, and yeah, it just didn't work for me at five. This is not something I'd recommend you go out. Again, this is a little late, so whatever. You've probably heard about this already, but I did want to put this out. So that's my thoughts on it. Unfortunately, not great. Again, the only really bright spot was Adam Driver's performance in this. The story suffered, contrivances left and right, lack of character chemistry, and just bad writing all around. So, anyway, I'm gonna go into like breakdown spoilers here in just a few minutes. So I will see you guys then. See ya. Hey guys, it is Rapmark here. So, back with the spoiler section to the movie 65. So, again, this it literally straight up tells you before man on Earth and all that. Like it, you know, this is a different planet than there's a human civilization. Who knows where, but they've conquered space. You know, they are spacefaring. Uh, so you meet Mills, his wife Ayla, and his daughter Naveen. So Naveen is ill, some sort of terminal illness. It doesn't really explain it, um, but yeah, he takes on a 2 year journey to essentially earn the money to get her treated. Um, you know, which again, you kind of see that could have been motivation for like this whole thing, you know, but no, she just gets sicker while he's gone, and you find out fairly early on that yeah, she got sick and died, and so yeah, something that could have been a great driver for plot and story without all these contrivances that I'm going to bring up was taken out of the game, just really early on. Um, but yeah, but I mean before that, so he's going, and apparently he's coming back to Samaris, which is his planet's name. Um, and what happens? He runs into a meteor shower, and this movie makes it feel like he got like 5, maybe 10 minutes of warning. It's just like if you're a spacefaring civilization, you'd figure you'd have a little bit more warrant. Like, and this is where I'm starting to get to where you know things started to feel contrived, um, and it was yeah, it was just not. It made no sense. But yeah, anyway, so his ship gets wrecked, and he goes down onto this planet. His gets split in half, and all the pods, all whatever, everyone dies. The pilot capsule he lands somewhere, but then the place that has like a working escape pod lands up in a mountain. But yeah, anyway, all the passengers are dead. And I guess he thinks about suicide, like, but again, that's not played up at all, because he goes to do, and then he just like, nope, I'm not gonna, because he sends a message saying send help, and then all crew dead, don't send help, and then he discovers that there is a working stasis pod, and there's this little girl in it named Koa. The problem is that they don't speak the same language. His translators broke. Like, I don't know if it's like a universal translator or if it's a translator on the ship, or I don't. But also like different languages. Is she from a different civilization, a different planet? How big is this Samaris civilization? I mean, obviously they still have terminal diseases. Their radar technology sucks, and the healthcare is clearly still a problem. I I don't know. It's so yeah. So not a lot of dialogue is in this movie because of that. He does try to talk to her. He kind of and sort of lies to her about her parents being alive to encourage um, to follow him. Uh, and the way that's played is just so stupid because there's a point like, and I'll get to this part again, but they're trapped in a cave, and he tries to tell you that he tries to tell her that he lied, but she doesn't understand. So it's just like, damn it. And then at the end, yeah, she discovers that everyone on the ship except for them died, and it's what should be an emotional moment is just like the problem is with everything going on and everything that's going wrong. It's just like you gotta hurry your ass. Yeah, just it's. So anyway, but when okay, so before that, he lands, he gets off, and there's something in the water, and you think, oh gosh, is he gonna be grabbed? Is something gonna happen? No, it just goes by him twice, and that's it. It's not even that deep of water. It's, I guess, just to establish it's dangerous. I don't know. Um, but yeah, yeah, just what is the point of that? So anyway, they take off. So I talked about that. She does go through his recordings, and goes through recordings that his daughter left him, and that's where we find out that his daughter didn't make it while he was on his trip. She got sicker and died. And yeah, I'm just like, you could have used that as like motivation. But yeah, it just totally dropped it, and I'm just like, man, I don't know where you're going with this, but we're already going the wrong answer. And in the very beginning, also, like when he crashes, it literally states 65 million years ago, a stranger landed on Earth. So again, everything's spelled out. Everything. And it's just like, all right, I guess I'm just going on this journey and just shutting off my brain because everything's just going to be force fed to me. Um, yeah, so anyway, they go. The first sort of dinosaur they meet is there's this baby, cute dinosaur that's stuck in quicksand, and she wants to help it. And she runs off, and he's just like, God damn it. And so she tries to pull him out. He helps. The dinosaur gets out, and then, you know, is that going to play a factor in it? No. Dinosaur gets ripped gets ripped apart and killed by a bunch of like small like scavenger dinosaurs. It's like okay. And yeah, that's that. After that, they run off, and he's just like, "You've got to listen to me," And it's just sort of these broken phrases. Like most of the dialogue is his. She speaks in this other language, but she does mimic him sometimes. She's got some berries, which he puts in his little thing, and they're poison. Um, and that comes into play later, but in a kind of ridiculous way, which I'll get into. Uh, but yeah, they keep going. They end up spending a night near a cave opening, where Mills allows Koa to watch some of the messages sent by Naveen. Um, and then just so he has sensors all around them. They're really close to each other, and it's just like, why are you putting them so close to you when there's like openings over here, a big opening over there? It's like, are they limited in range or what? I don't know. And apparently it zaps anything that comes within the perimeter, so I mean, he could argue. But before, like when he wakes up, you see something crawl into her mouth, some sort of like slug or something. I don't know what this thing is. Goes into her mouth, and she's like starts foaming at the mouth, you know. And so what is he? He takes one of the sensor things, pulls the top part out, and this thing in her mouth is like trying to attack it, and then it bites the thing and just immediately gets vaporized. But she's okay, like not hurt whatsoever in spite of this thing going in her mouth. Like, I don't know, like. And then I would have figured you have woken up. Like, it's one thing something crawling into your ear, that I can see something crawling into your ear, get trapped in there eating what, like, shit like that. But into your mouth and to the point where you are foaming at the mouth, unless there's some sort of like toxin, I just don't understand how that happens. So anyway, while they're doing the beacons are going off. There's something there. Then they go from the back of the cave because they hear something down there, and then you see the shot from the trailer on the outside. This big theropod. It's not a T-Rex. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's out there, and he shoots it. It and it goes like crazy. So they go into the cave. and then there's a point where he is, trying to dig out. There's sort of an opening. There's clearly something there, but he can't with the tool. And she's just like, move, move, because that's all she knows how to get going in his language. And then he realizes that he has these sort of mini grenades that he uses to blow this sort of entrance out. And it perfectly works. She's able to get through and through. He is kind of struggling. And then the earth starts shaking for whatever reason. And of course, what's going to happen? There's a cave in, so he can't get out that way, but she can. And then he gets attacked by this dinosaur in the cave, and it's just like, at first you only see it through the scanner, and it's dragging him, trying to kill him. Eventually he does get to his gun, blast the thing. And here's the thing is, so this thing is about the size of a human. One shot, one kill. This is a pretty powerful gun. And it sort of shows the amount of ammo it has. I don't know if this is like, if it can recharge or whatnot. It never really explains it. He never seems to run out of ammo. And yeah, and this thing just acts as sort of like the end all be all if there is something in his way, like a dinosaur. It's a little contrived. Like, the whole gun is a huge contrivance that has inconsistencies, which I'll get into here, because he blasted that thing like a good 9-10 times in the face. But yeah, he manages to get out the same way he said they couldn't get out before. He got out that same way, and I'm just like, wow. Okay, this is taking some liberties. So then he gets out. They discover that, the asteroid. Oh my gosh, the asteroid. So now there's a timer involved. And they have like 12 hours to get to this thing before the asteroid hits the Earth and causes an extinction event that will destroy the dinosaurs. And it was the same asteroid that destroyed his ship. So, all right, that failed. And it's just like, good grief. So anyway, after that, there's more fighting with dinosaurs. There's these sort of mid-sized dinosaurs which attacks them. He tells Koa to run, and she does. And he's just one shot, one kill in these things, but they are everywhere. And you're kind of wondering, like, what is going on. He still has some of the grenades. He gave some to her in a bag, showed her how to turn it off and on. And that comes into play in a really silly way. But anyway, so yeah, he's one shot, one killing these things, throwing mini grenades. She leaves, and on the beach, these flying reptiles are, and you think they're gonna mess with her. They don't. So she quietly moves away, even though there's one that's clearly looking at her. I don't know. And Eventually, they're all chased off by one or two of these things that are that escaped from the battle with Mills. And then, yeah, that covers that. Again, ammo is apparently not an issue in this, and because of the gun, you don't feel any sort of tension because this thing is just so powerful. Uh, it just feels now like an enraged timer, essentially, in a boss fight because now they just have 12 hours because the gun's not going to do crap to that asteroid. Anyway, at some point, I can't remember if it's after or before that happens. She gets attacked by a dinosaur. She climbs up on a log, smashes one end in, goes to the other side, smashes that end in, traps the dinosaur in, and then releases all of the mini grenades in there. They blow up. She's fine. She's barely any distance from this log that she used 7 grenades on. I I don't know. It was kind of silly. So anyway, they finally reach the ship, and that's where Koa discovers that Mills lied to her, that her parents are dead. She and him are the only survivors. Mills opens up to Koa about losing his daughter, which again she can't understand. Like, he promises to protect her. It's just like, how much of this is she actually getting, and why is there a different language anyway? Um, but anyway, because he sent the sort of emergency warning out from the driver's pod, so now rescue is on the way, is what it says. So they go on the escape shuttle. He sort of shows her how to launch it. At this point, the asteroid is really freaking close. And there's impacts all over the place, and it causes the escape pod to fall down the mountain. It can't launch because it's now upside down. And then 2 T-Rexes come out. And my gosh, this is the craziest thing ever. So he goes out, he's going to save her, and I guess there's a second gun. I mean, I've heard different things, that there's only one gun, but that there's another gun, because I think he lost it in some quicksand, which I missed. I will cover that in a second, but yeah, just to get this over with. Yeah, so he grabs it, hides in a log. A T-Rex goes in to look at a hole in the log. He blasts it. 1 shot, 1 kill. And then he starts blasting the other one. Like, you see, like, it hit its ankle. It's fallen down. It's hit its face. It should be dead, but it's not. He does finally get it. But then a third dinosaur comes out. The first giant theropod, which they blast in the face. It should be dead too, but nope. Anyway, his gun is, I guess, now out, so he has to run. His arm is broken. I think his leg is broken, but somehow he's running just fine on it. Unless I saw that wrong. So he goes to a geyser, probably not the same one that he landed at, because that would be a 15-kilometer run. I don't think they're going to do something that crazy. So this is probably really close. But yeah, he goes over a geyser that looks like it's about ready to erupt. Doesn't erupt when he goes over it, but then it erupts when the dinosaur's over it. Nothing really happens, though. And it's just like, okay, he's in trouble now. The thing goes in. So Koa found a tooth in a log for some reason, and covered it in the poisonous berries things, and stabs a thing in his eye. I have no idea what the poison was supposed to do. I mean, literally having a sharp tooth in your eye would be painful enough. Uh, yeah, I don't think that the poison was doing too much. And then the geyser goes up again, and this thing gets annihilated. Its skin is like all over the place. Uh, yeah, it gets fried, and I'm just like, what happened the first time? This thing clearly got caught in that blast, but no. So anyway, with that done, they go to the ship. It was turned over when the two T Rexes were trying to get out of them, and then there's this like repair mode, like after it's flipped, and I'm just like, what repair mode after falling down a mountain? Like what is actually happening here? What, there's no consistency in the civilization as to what the heck's going on. It's really bizarre and kind of sad. But anyway, they get away, and then they see the meteor impact, and just nuclear blast all over the Earth. And that's it. They float off into space and await rescue. You never see the rescue. You never see his wife again. His daughter's dead. You have no idea what's going to happen to Koa, let alone Mills. It feels unsatisfying. My gosh, I almost want to give this a 4 now that I'm thinking about it, because I dogged on this a lot. Like, Adam Driver brought up this movie a lot, but man, I don't think he could save it from all of this, and I missed a lot of stuff. Uh, the quicksand scene, which also seemed very contrived, and then the way he was rescued was contrived because there was a tree just right there with a branch that was long enough and strong enough to. Yeah, it just seemed like one poorly written contrivance after another for no other reason than to delay the ending. Is how this movie felt. So no, I think I have to revise my score. I think I'm going to give this a 4 because man, it was so disappointing and felt so contrived, and there didn't feel any chemistry between the actors. And you got no rewarding payoff other than they escaped. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, 4 out of 10. I think I'm going to lower this one to a 4 out of 10. So as the credits roll, you see several images of Earth landscape, from the aftermath when everything's on fire to the nuclear winter to the fields to buildings being there. Just like, what? Okay, whatever. I mean, we knew all this. Yeah. So honestly, probably for the best that you guys don't see this. This is not a great movie. It just seemed poorly executed because there is the potential to have something good there. I just don't think it ever reached that height, unfortunately. And Adam Driver was the only thing that really kept this movie up from like complete failure. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the movie 65. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.